Hello and welcome to the next episode of this internet playthrough of Dominions with me and some other not very random people on the internet. Thank you for joining me once again. I am feeling a little bit sickly today, so bear with me if my voice doesn't quite cope the way it should. So let's have a look at what is happening. Okay, let's do the battles first. That's always the most appropriate. So I've got 3 battles. I'm attacking 3 independent provinces this turn. I have looked through the battles all before, so I've actually given the orders for my turn. So I'm basically just showing you what has happened. So a bunch of heavy cav, and I've done a bunch of experimenting with Black Templars versus just everything, and I'm actually a little bit surprised just how good my Black Templars are against heavy cav. By looking at the stats, I mean, they obviously are better, but they do a lot better against them than I thought they should do. So it's definitely nice, and this seems to be, I mean, this goes pretty well. He shouldn't be charging forward, but so be it. But yeah, no, that was flawless. So that was great. I know this province, right? I'm only sending 1 commander with 5 bodyguards. That's it. And this is kind of what I expected to be able to do in the very early game, is to just have this small kind of squad and just take independent provinces, because they're more than capable of doing it. You just have to have the appropriate provinces to target, and these guys manage it flawlessly without loss. So, and the third one. And this is a fairly strong army, so this should be a complete walkover. We've got like 9 or 10 Black Templars, all with Bless, going into this bunch, which really shouldn't stand a chance. So that's great. Yeah, so okay, let's have a look at this, right? 3 provinces in 1 turn, right? That's just huge. Compared to what's been happening before this game, that's a huge increase. So, like, that was just a fantastic turn. Let's read the messages we got from Man. A word of friendly warning. Make sure you know that you're up against with Miklan. They have to be stopped, but their blessed jaguars aren't stopped by armor, nor are they stopped by arrows. The only way we think to stop them is to first destroy the priests. We're drafting a new army with the above strategies in mind. Let us know your movements and we will help coordinate the others. Utgard is with us, but won't make the first move. Pangaea has responded yet, but it is in his interest to join. Midgard is interested in helping out the Wardens of Man. Yeah, so, yeah, hang on. Man's actually really close. So he might actually move against them. So Pangaea took this province, which isn't great. I'm a little bit concerned that we have such a large army here, but I don't think Pangaea is going to come attack me from this situation. And even if he did, like, I could parry this. Like, I have a strong army. I could deal with this. I'm not that concerned. So that's fine. I'd have sent a message to Pangaea. Okay, well, let's first have a look at what Miklan says. Greetings, strong warriors of Ulm, the eagles of the sky and jaguars of the woods. Offer their blessings. We notice that we have expanded rather close to your cap, though not in your cap circle. We have no intentions of expanding farther north, so please take those lands at your leisure. Also, please take 1 to 1 before the horses take it, who are already quite large. So Miklan is concerned about Pangaea. If you feel uncomfortable with the noble Miklan so close to capital, we can sell you the province for 9 months worth of income from it. Like, I kind of feel this is a trap. Like, no one would agree to this. So if I say I'll agree to it, I kind of feel like, well, like, there's no way someone would agree to that. I just think that's weird. Or maybe, like, he would, but it just, if I made that offer to someone and they agreed to it, I'd be very suspicious. So here's what's going to go. Here's what's happening. Yeah. I did a bunch of testing against throne provinces, and generally, even with 15 Black Templars, I usually crush throne provinces, just crush them. But occasionally, they got wizards or some other nonsense, and it just fucks you up. Like, it's a risk. There is no two ways around it. It's a risk. If there was an easier option, I would definitely take it. If I could take an independent province with these guys, I would do it. It's not an option, and I'm not prepared to move to against Miklan this turn. So that's why I'm going for the throne province. Also, Miklan's greatest weakness is its dominion. Thrones spread dominion. So that's another big part of why I want this, especially so close to him, that I can hoping for a Dominion crush. I think that's one of the most important things. Also, if I crush his Dominion, he can't recruit Sacred Troops, and that's his entire strategy, is Sacred Troops. And I have all the right tools. Even my Hawkmeister, Inquisitor, they can spread down Dominion. The Black Priest, admittedly, nowhere close to him, but he's got level 2 priest strength. Inquisitor, priest level is doubled for this purpose. There isn't a province Miklan has that my priest can't preach down, right? His maximum Dominion, I think, is 3. That's what I calculated. So I'm going to attack this province. I'm definitely nervous about this one, but it could go either way depending on what they have. I could just completely crush them, or they could cause trouble. So I've got 2 guys on the wings, right? I'm gonna keep him behind. The commander doesn't need to go for it, I think. It's just a little too risky if he dies. So I've got some Black Templars going to go straight down the middle, and I've got these guys on both wings trying to get to the rear. One of them I think should succeed, no matter what they have. I think I should be able to take out their commanders. So then I have this province, and then from here, I can basically hit like so deep into Miklan. And I know he's building fortresses. He's building a palisade over here. Everyone should probably be building palisades everywhere at this point in the game. Everyone has money, or should do. And if I can hit his palisades before they construct, oh lord, that'd be fantastic. The messages I'm sending. Okay, because the diplomacy is just getting a little interesting. Message to man. I know I want to read it. I always do that. Greetings to his most holy wounded baggedness. The greatest weakness of Miklan is that they can recruit 3 holy units per turn per fortification, because that is their maximum Dominion. If we hit hard soon and fast, I think we can prevail, and I intend to move aggressively against Miklan very soon. I expect Utgard to join, but I'm wary of letting them know my intentions, lest they warn Miklan. Use of discretion as to communication with Utgard. I basically trust Daz completely. We worked well in the previous game. I know he had some misgivings and trust in that game, watching his videos. But I think now, the positions we are in against opponents we are facing, I trust him completely. Like, at some point, you can't be wary against everyone. So I'm putting all my resources against my southern border. I believe I know they're completely undefended. So if he wants to come through and mess me up, he can. I just don't think he will. And the cost benefits or the risk of it, I just think this is the right move. To trust him completely, don't spend resources on not trusting Daz. Hopefully Pangaea stays out of it. If you're able to give us a Thistle mace, he'll work at that. It would be a great boon. It would prevent us having to empower one of our nature gems. Oh my god. Nature. Look, maybe, hopefully you figure that out. If you're capable of creating such an item, please send it post haste and we will gladly reimburse you the cost. So the problem I'm having here is I've got these guys and I want to create items with them. Specifically, I want to create this item, Eye Shield, okay? I don't really want to go to Construction 4 for the Vine Shield or other items, or even to be able to research about the Thistle Mace, but I want to make these items, and I just need a Thistle Mace to do it. What's great about these items is that, give them to a vampire, right? They're very tanky. They don't hit very hard, but they're very, very tanky. They've got regen and life drain, and the shield will protect them, but for all his sacreds that attack the vampire, they can lose their eyes. It's very possible for him to be surrounded by a horde of sacred jaguars who are all double blinded. They're useless. It basically incapacitates Miklan's greatest asset. This shield on a vampire. I have vampires, I just need a Thistle Mace. I can empower a priest. I'm at this point where I can empower him. But it's expensive and I don't want to. But it's definitely an option. It depends what communication I get back from Daz. I have like a very solid income of nature gems. So I could have a Eye Shield maybe 3 or 4 turns. Speaking of which, again, I did a lot of testing. Dr. Quacksalver, who was the hugest disappointment in this game so far, do better. He died while retreating because he went the wrong way. But he should be coming back. He should be resurrected. I tested this with vampires, dying retreating in many provinces. They should come back, and they do come back. So I'm really expecting him to come back next turn. And then he can cause some shenanigans. I'll be able to create another Sanguine Heritage next turn too. I'll definitely get the Blood Slayers from my Pretender. I've got a Blood Hunter here with 4. Can't get them into yet. Also got Blood Hunter here. I'm still recruiting Fortune Tellers. I've decided that for the commander points that I have, like that's the limiting factor, is the commander points for my research. They give more research than the Illuminated one, a little bit more. And they're really not that much more expensive. Like they just aren't, like 60 per year as well. 76. And they have this, which is nice. And they also give me a blood trait. So like I just think these are the winner. I'm just going to recruit these in my capital for researching purposes. Still recruiting these guys. I'm not going to stop. That's where that's where a lot of my gold is going. I started the gold with the love turn, building palisades here, and I'm building palisades here as well. I want to build palisades. Here's going to be the other option. I think I have enough resources for my cap that I don't actually need the resources from this province. I've got like 180 excess resources. So that's fine. Questionably, putting PD here just because I don't want to avoid a bad event where some small force attacks it and destroys the palisade. That's why this exists, to try and prevent like that happening. Similarly here, I'll probably, maybe, we'll see if I want to do blood hunting there. Okay, so message to Pangaea. We notice we're neighbors now. We don't mind you occupying the stretches, but go no farther. And as respect our borders, we will respect yours. I just want no shenanigans with Pangaea. Just do what you want to do. Just leave me out of it. And I don't think I'm going to get shenanigans. Here is where it gets gummy. Oh yes, this is the message I'm saying to Miklan. We have two strong neighbors perilously close to our capital, you and Pangaea. But Pangaea is large, and we determine to be the greatest threat. Would you be prepared to join forces and move against Pangaea? Right. So, hopefully he doesn't see me or doesn't get too concerned if I take this. Like, just let's see what happens here. I think the proposal that I'm saying to him seems credible. Maybe because he's trying to warn me against Pangaea, and I'm like, hey, let's run against Pangaea. Maybe something will happen. But the point here is, if this attack goes horribly badly, I'm actually going to join Miklan against Pangaea. That's an option. Otherwise, I'm going to mercilessly attack him and hope for the best. Things are going to get very interesting very soon. Expect Utgard over here to help against Miklan. Expect Daz to help against Miklan. So I think Miklan's going to be in trouble. I think my Black Templar is going to be very strong against his Sacreds, mostly because I'm going to outnumber him horribly. And my units are just better than his. He's got the luck trait, which I think is horrible, but it won't protect him from decaying weapons. And his quickness buff actually doubles the effectiveness of Withering Weapons. So, like, I remember when I was creating my Pretender, I was like, Withering Weapons, pretty meh, might not help. Basically, like, a thing will die whether or not, like it just usually doesn't come into effect. But against his Sacred Troops, it really comes into an effect. It matters a lot. A lot of his units are going to die to Withering Weapons. So this is the turn. I'm nervous with this attack. I expect it to go well. I hope it goes well. There's a potential for it to go horribly. Definitely going to be doing some shenanigans with Miklan. And yeah, I want to get Enchantment 3. I'm probably going to go to Construction 4 at some point. I really want to build... There are a few items like the Skull Staff that I really want. To be able to make a Vine Shield is also like really good. But Enchantment 5 is also super good for the Hoarder Skeletons, for the Vampires. If there's one thing that's really holding me back, is the research. So like, it's definitely a problem that I'm having. In terms of Miklan, I just wanted something I kind of thought about before, how he's using his Pretender. And I was thinking, right, because he has so much magic traits in his Pretender, he's got like 60 research per turn. With Drain 3, who cares? It's 57. If he only uses his Pretender to do research, he will get the research he needs to cast the spells he wants. He might not use them for side searching at all. He might use them only for research, and I think that's probably the way he's doing it. It's much safer. So, I don't think it is side searching. And Miklan has a lot of just people he can recruit who are really good side searchers. So, I think his pretend is just going to be researching the whole game. And that's a worry. Yeah, I've got scouts. I'm making 3 scouts a turn. These are these gray arrows. Scout, scout, scout up there to see what's happening. Scout there. So I'm not going to be so blind. And hopefully I'm going to have the information I need when I need it. And I'm making scouts like every turn as well. So this is the turn. It's going to get spicy. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.